Hello and welcome back. Today we gather to talk about Africa, our beautiful continent rich in resources, culture and resilience. Yet despite its vast potential, Africa faces significant challenge including widespread poverty, conflict and underdevelopment. While the African Union was established to foster unity, solidarity and cooperation among African nations, the question remains: is it truly fulfilling its purpose? It is disheartening to acknowledge that since its inception in 2000, many have not seen a transformative change from African Union. Too often, the narrative lends towards disappointment. Why? Because 70% of African Union's budget is funded by Europe and America. When foreign power controls the funding, they inevitably influence the organization's priorities and decision making. This leads to reality where the interests of Africa are not at the forefront, but rather those of our external benefactors. Let us consider this: an organization that aims to uplift and empower Africa cannot thrive on foreign money. This dependency undermines the sovereignty of African nations and constrains the vision of what is truly in the best interest of the continent. It is high time we realize that Africa does not need to be a continent that always begs for assistance. Instead, it should stand as a pillar of self-resilience and strength, fulfilled by its own resources and ingenuity. Look at Africa's tremendous potential. It is home to abundant natural resources, minerals, oil, agricultural land, and more. Yet, this wealth does not translate into prosperity for its people. For decades, the continent has been perceived as a place of need rather than one of opportunity. This narrative needs changing, but change requires unity and furious determination. Consider this: in 1949, China was grappling with poverty. Fast forward today, and it has emerged as the second largest economy in the world, right behind the United States. How did this transformation happen? Through strategic unity and strong institutions that act in the best interests of their people. It is time for Africa to adopt a similar approach to foster unity that transcends borders and creates collaborative frameworks that amplifies the continent's voice on the global stage. We must cultivate an environment where African money fuels African dreams. Imagine an organization that operates independently, funded solely by African nations and their people, working collaboratively towards common goals. An organization that prioritizes education, health, security, and infrastructure without external influence dictating its path. It is not an impossible dream. Rather, it is a necessary reality we must pursue. What would such an organization look like? It would invest in local industries, empowers small businesses, and prioritize sustainable development, ensuring that Africa's wealth benefits its people and not just foreign interests. It would position itself as a leader in innovation, technology, and science, setting benchmarks that the rest of the world would seek to emulate. Studies show that countries with higher level of economic independency achieve better outcomes in education, health, and overall quality of life. By harnessing Africa's collective strength, the continent can create an ecosystem that supports progress and innovation. Imagine the possibility when African countries collaborate rather than compete with one another. When resources are shared, ideas are exchanged, and unity prevails. Unity is not just a lofty idea, it is a powerful force. When African nations come together, they counter external pressure and engage with world from a position of strength. It is essential to break the chain of dependency and cultivate a spirit of partnership rooted in mutual respect and shared goals. This means investing in infrastructure, technology, and education across all sectors, creating environments where potentials thrive and opportunities abound. There is something profoundly powerful about the shared dream of United Africa. It fosters hope not just within the continent but also as a beacon to the world. Africa can become a continent that doesn't seek handouts but instead extends hands of partnership, trading knowledge, resources, and innovation with others. The first step towards realizing the dream lies in the hands of its leaders, thinkers, and the youth. They must prioritize the establishment of strong institutions that serve the interests of Africa's people, not external influence. Educational system that empower future generations, healthcare system that provides for everyone, and governance that is accountable and transparent must be at the forefront of this new vision. Finally, the task is not solely on the African Union or government leaders. It is a shared responsibility that requires the collective will of the people. Every African, whether at home or in the diaspora, has the role to play in the shaping the narrative by demanding accountability, supporting local economies, and encouraging innovation at grassroots level. The vision for a strong Africa can be realized. As we embark on this journey, let us remember Africa is rich in culture, resources, and above all, potential. The time has come for Africa to unite and build a future that reflects its dream and aspiration, not dictated by foreign interests, but driven by the unwavering commitment to self-determination and progress. Together, let us forge a path towards true unity where Africa can not only stand tall but leads the way for others to follow. As I conclude this video, I want to express my unwavering solidarity with the people of Palestine who are enduring immense suffering and injustice. What truly defines us as human beings is our capacity for compassion and empathy towards one another. In the face of the oppression and genocide, it becomes our moral obligation to stand up and lend our voices for those who are silenced. I urge each of you to recognize our shared humanity and to advocate for the rights and dignity of all individuals, regardless of their backgrounds. By standing with the people of Palestine, we are not only supporting their struggle for justice, but also reaffirming our commitment to the vision of humanity where compassion prevails over hatred. Together, let us ensure that we are on the right sides of history, promoting peace, understanding, and a future where everyone can thrive in dignity and freedom. Thank you, and have a good one.